Okay, fair enough. We'll go with hands in pockets.
It was your choice.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Kirby Downey.
I'm Johnny Harrison.
And we're currently in the middle of a magic wheelchair build for George. A team effort with a bunch of SolidWorks champions and ourselves. And if you haven't heard about magic wheelchair, check this out.
What makes a hero? Is it that he is fast? Or that she is strong? Does a hero really need a costume? Or just a big heart? Sometimes even heroes need a bit of help. And a little bit of magic. These are our heroes. They inspire us to do good. Magic Wheelchair, putting a smile on the face of every child.
So yeah, we're both very excited to be part of the first magic wheelchair build in the UK, and we're going to find out more about it from Christine.
So we'll start off with who you are and what is magic wheelchair.
Yeah, so I'm Christine Getman. I'm the executive director of Magic Wheelchair, and Magic Wheelchair is a nonprofit organization that builds epic costumes for kids in wheelchairs at no cost to families. We're thrilled. We've been building in the United States for about 6 years, and we're officially international now.
We're really excited about that. How have you guys managed to deal with doing reveals? Because a lot of your reveals are done in like big convention halls with tons of people and crowds. How has COVID affected kind of doing reveals and doing builds?
COVID, I mean, as you would expect, a lot of things are postponed and canceled. We're just learning to be as flexible as possible. And our motto of the kids being the bosses hasn't changed. So if the families aren't feeling good about something, we cancel, we postpone, we change how we deliver. So it's really just we're having to be extremely flexible, go with the flow. Last year when COVID was a newer topic, a lot of builders were pivoting to support PPE production in the interim. And then last Halloween season, I think in 2020 total, we did like 19 reveals, which is quite low, but we're thrilled to have those opportunities, and they all went well and safely, and everyone was happy. So, yeah, we're just trying to honor how the families want to go. Some don't want anyone entering their homes, or they don't want to go anywhere, and others, they want to still make the memories now, So
Yeah.
We're just being as flexible as we can.
Yeah, for our reveal, for measuring, I had to go and do it in the backyard of George's house and wave at the family through the window. So hopefully we're all going to do our tests before we do our reveal and be all super safe. And instead of sharing pizza, we'll get a pizza for each person. Instead.
Personal pizzas, yeah. That sounds great.
I mean,
with Comic-Con's canceling, that's also hard, and we keep rescheduling, and it's just we're torn on. Right now, some folks are more comfortable and others are not, and so it's hard to commit, like, oh yeah, we'll have a reveal at your event. When I can't volunteer the families until I get the green light. So I think right now it's just less is more, going slow, and we don't want to force anything. But
yeah, and you're doing a lot more private type of reveals, like with your Metallica reveal, where it was just our reveal is going to be in a garden, and yours as well.
Yeah.
And I think you were saying that those you feel are a lot more personal, and kids don't feel as kind of, especially the shy ones, they don't feel as overwhelmed.
Exactly. I think, we've always offered to do smaller reveals. We've done birthday parties and such, but oftentimes the reveals align with Comic-Cons, and that those are great opportunities. But lately we've been just, making it work. We had that private Halloween party and played the Metallica shout out to little Emily. We've done some other smaller driveway reveals. We did a Bumblebee last October, and the kiddo thought he was doing an interview with Kevin Hart. which he was, but he didn't realize that while we were keeping him inside to talk to Kevin Hart, we were setting up his magic wheelchair out in his front yard. And so then Kevin was like, hey, go outside, I got something for you. And so we're finding fun, creative ways to reveal, outside of the traditional Comic-Con events.
You're not letting it stop spreading magic.
No.
That's awesome. That's a lot of fun. So, like, our build here is the first proper international build, the first build happening outside of the States. Like, what does that mean for Magic Wheelchair?
Oh my gosh. I think it means bigger reach and just elevating inclusion and self-expression. I think in different parts of the world, disability might be viewed in different ways, maybe more negative ways, and this is just one more tool to help elevate inclusion of folks with disabilities and help promote self-expression for kiddos and adults with disabilities.
Yeah, it's really fun. Like, we're having a lot of fun building. We've got an apprentice helping us out as well, who's learning about very small little techniques as well. So someone's learning, and we really hope that we can get more UK people involved, and then maybe Johnny's company will do a team building exercise and build one.
That'd be amazing. Yeah. I mean, I didn't even talk about that, like engaging volunteers worldwide. We do have volunteers on the wait list, but it's just been hard to get things going. And COVID certainly didn't help the momentum that we had when 2020 was starting. But we're just so grateful for, guys like you who are like, heck yes, let's do this.
Exactly. I mean, we worked out to be about just 4 weeks to actually put everything together.
Yeah.
And we're doing everything we can is to make it as awesome as we can. I mean, more time would always be awesome, but, we're just working with what we have, and, maybe there'll be another project. I mean, Johnny ordered enough material to do 2 builds, so, I mean, I don't see why we can do it again.
Well, and also, the reveal is certainly the first deadline, and you want it done, but the relationship with the family doesn't have to stop. And, we've had for years families and builders keeping in touch, and they'll say, hey, can you come repair this piece? Or, hey, can we change the color of these lights? So just because that's the deadline doesn't mean that you can't keep adding to it, upgrade.
Yeah. It would definitely be awesome to go hang out with George at the next Comic-Con that his family are comfortable with him going to, and help him out with his costume while he's there. I think that will be a lot of fun, and I'll definitely stay in contact with the family once we're done with our build.
I've heard he likes Comic-Con.
Oh, he loves it. He loves Lego, which is perfect for me.
Yeah.
He's just, he just have fun with all the latest stuff, and we're really hoping he really enjoys this build.
Awesome. I'm so excited to see him in it, see his reaction. I thought, that interview when he was telling you his ideas, it was so fun just to see the progression. And it was only, 10 minutes talking to him? But
yeah,
it was pretty clear what the costume was going to be.
Yeah, he was so excited, and we bought some Lego sets as well that we're going to give to him, and we've created an element where he gets to build part of the wheelchair himself.
That's
amazing.
I think
that was a fun idea.
Yeah.
So then my last question for you then would be, like, what is your favorite magic wheelchair that you've revealed?
I'm not supposed to pick favorites, Kirby. Gosh. I think I have lots of favorites for different reasons. The Metallica one is a high fave for me just because that build was so special to us. We almost didn't get to do it. She got really sick prior to the reveal and was hospitalized, and we had to cancel. So that one was just really emotional and special when we finally got to present it to her and have the band involved. I also think I love the ones that are just not what you would typically expect. We do Star Wars and spaceships and superheroes and princess carriages all day long. But when Lucas came to us and wanted Predator, heck yes.
It's always fun when it's a unique build.
Alien as well. We had a young lady named Jasmine up here in the Pacific Northwest who got this alien chair. It was pretty rad.
Yeah, It's really, I'm going through your website and seeing all the different builds, and even just Googling magic wheelchair and just a topic and finding something cool.
Yeah.
So,
One more favorite I would say is when the kiddos have a unique idea and it's entirely their creation. We've had a couple of those where they just tell the designer, I want this, I want this, I want this, and they draw it up and make it happen. I love that for multiple reasons.
yeah, allow them to bring their imagination to life.
Yep, exactly.
So, I mean, where can people find Magic Wheelchair and sign up to either build or to donate, or even sign up because they know someone that might want their own Magic Wheelchair?
Yeah, for sure. So anyone can go to our website, magicwheelchair.org, O-R-G. You can sign up to volunteer. You can nominate a kiddo or apply for a costume yourself. You can donate and even look at our gallery of photos. We're also on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and I believe you can donate on all of those platforms now as well. So each one has somewhat similar content, but each one also has some different aspects that you can see, which is really fun.
And I'll put the link, I'm sure, somewhere on the screen here.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of those people there on the chat watching this are talking all about it. And
we I think we're verified for live streamers as well now, so you can live stream and have it collect donations for Magic Wheelchair, which has been a lot of fun. I know you've done it, Kirby, but we also had someone host like a craftathon over a weekend, and they raised enough to build an entire Magic Wheelchair. So I've just been loving seeing where people go with these tools.
Getting more and more people involved, and sharing here and there, and like Johnny and I are planning at some point to do another live stream where we can get money donated to Magic Wheelchair. And the idea is for every $1 we get, we have to do a jumping jack. Just have fun. Just Johnny's not keen on the idea, but I think it'll be good fun.
That sounds like a blast. I bet George would join you on that live stream for a bit, a special guest appearance.
Exactly. Yeah, it's always we're hoping we can maybe live stream the reveal, but we're going to, and everybody will see it in the little clip that's coming up after this.
That sounds awesome.
Yes. Thank you very much, Christine. Thank you for chatting with us.
Thanks for everything.
I hope everyone is enjoying the live, the stream and everything, and everybody's having a good time. Let's jump back to Johnny and Kirby.
Hey guys, it's Kirby and Johnny. You may remember us from the intro video, also from the core podcast. And we're back again. We're going to be showing you the overall process that we took to do this Magic Wheelchair.
So this is the first Magic Wheelchair build outside of America. Myself and Kirby are very lucky to be the first ones obviously building in the UK. And what we've done is we've got other SolidWorks champions, other SolidWorks users involved in the build and design.
Like I said, in this video we're going to be showing you the whole process of how we went from meeting George to the final build. So we'll start off by meeting George.
Do you want to say a little bit about what you've been thinking about that you would like?
Well, I've been
Speaking to the camera.
I've been looking through all of the pictures, and can you make a Lego one?
That would be awesome.
I thought it could be like a Lego Ninjago one.
Lego Ninjago. I think that could work. Something like a dragon or something.
Yeah. A dragon will be good.
The dragons from Ninjago are pretty cool.
He's got massive displays of dragons he's built and all sort of like mythical creatures out of Lego.
Oh, that would be
so perhaps
cool.
I could send them to you as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking that whilst I'm building, maybe it could be like a skeleton dragon.
He's looking at this one at the minute. This is the one that he's making different versions out of. This is the one. Because of spinal muscular atrophy, and then he got on a trial for treatment in Paris, age 6, and he's regained the use of his fingers, the strength in his fingers, to start using Lego again. So it's a bit of a journey with Lego. So yeah, it's really good.
That's very, very cool.
George likes sort of the mechanics of the Lego, sort of like the engineering of it. So like he likes to create like the levers. I mean, I'm rubbish, so excuse me what I sound like, but things that actually do things with the Lego.
Mechanical.
Like the mechanisms. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, most of the people that are going to be working and helping on this are mechanical engineers. So doing that kind of stuff.
Well, Lego's how I got started.
Yeah, so like we're all work using engineering software, and we'll be able to do something really cool and mechanical, I'm sure.
So as Kirby's local to George, Kirby got the job of going and taking all the crucial measurements of the wheelchair. So if anything doesn't fit, it's on him.
It was good fun though.
Yeah, it was good.
So it was a nice little drive.
Yeah.
So I'm about to leave and head my way to George's house to go and measure up the wheelchair, take dimensions, pictures, as many things. Everything has to be done COVID safe, so I'm not going to actually physically meet the parents or George. So I've got to glove up, masks, little booties, hand sanitizers. I've taken my COVID test this morning, which is negative, and we're doing everything possible to keep George as safe as possible while at the same time spreading some magic. So let's go. We just got you. Let's go check out this wheelchair. So I'm taking all the measurements now. Let's put this into a cheeky little CAD model where we can reference all the important bits and make it. It's going to be an exciting build. So here we have a little CAD model of George's wheelchair. Just representing all the important bits like the radius of the back wheels, where the D hooks are placed. This will give us a good idea of the width of the chair, George's position, as well as any kind of important bits that we want to actually attach onto, which are probably mostly going to be these D hooks. So with this model, we can then give that to our SolidWorks champions, and they can start designing this wheelchair around this model. We then thought it was ready. Let's sit down with the champions and discuss what we measured and start discussing what George wants and start coming up with ideas.
So when we were chatting with George, we went through his different interests, what he likes, what he's into, discussed some different concepts, and then got into the modelling.
We gave tasks to different champions that we thought they could really do well in certain areas, and I think it worked out quite well.
Did, yeah.
The perfect example is Adam Weir.
Hey guys, my name is Adam Weir. I am a SolidWorks champion, and I took part in the build project for George. Firstly, I started off doing rough ideation sketches to explore the form of the dragon. Then, moving into X-Shape. And X-Shape was pretty new for me, so I had to learn on the job. And over the course of 2 days, I explored the form in 3D, pushing and pulling a quad ball, and eventually we ended up with a tangible reference that could be used for the modelling.
So how long have you been using X-Shape as a rough guide to that?
I started 2 days ago using X-Shape.
Oh wow.
I've done some sub-D modelling before, but literally I just started with, they call it a quad ball, and then you just start pulling and pushing points, and like you just have to start. It looks much more daunting than it is, but when you get started, it's really easy to.
Yeah, I think it's one of them things. You've got to throw like 4 or 5 hours at it and just get your head into it a bit before you actually come out with anything.
Indeed, yes.
You'll basically be pulling a potato around for 20 minutes trying to figure out what's going on, and then you'll go, actually, this makes sense now.
So once we had the CAD model, myself and Kirby sort of put our heads together and started to bring it to life, purchase some materials and starting the build.
Yeah, it was travelled up to Johnny's side of the country to be able to go and build this whole thing. So we did a lot of this with foam. It's a Warbler foam, very easy to kind of cut and carve.
Nice bit of heat gun action there, so we use the heat to form the foam into the shapes we're looking for.
Yeah, we used some hot wire cutters to carve the foam as well as rasps to get the shape of the head. All the polystyrene sections were hand carved and hand sculpted. As you can see, I did a bit of artistic drawing there. It's a good shot. There's a good shot. Look at that, man.
Nice bit of inspection. Some resin.
Yeah, we had to do some resin. Basically, the polystyrene, if you put any chemical on it, it disappears. So we have to cover it in a resin in order to be able to paint it with spray paints and that kind of stuff.
Sets nice and hard and makes it a bit more durable as well.
Yeah, it can actually really knock it around and sand it nicely and
holds its own.
Fill in those little holes and gaps. So that wraps up the first build weekend. I came back down to London, did 2 days of work, got back in the car, and back up north to Johnny. Very productive week at work, but you know, we had to crack on with this.
Crack on, get it done.
There was a lot of sanding in build weekend too.
Yeah, we love sanding, don't we?
Yeah, that's the problem when you fill things, is that you got to sand it, and we filled it a little too much.
Luckily though, we did have a workshop apprentice to put on that task.
Yeah, you know, he was keen, he was willing to do those jobs, he learnt a lot.
Yep.
And then he went home and I had to sand.
Yeah, but he knows his sandpaper grits now, so it's all good.
Yeah, he knows his stuff. A lot of the EVA and stuff, we started to spray paint outside. It was a lovely day, and then the British weather decided to do its thing.
A lovely bit of rain came.
And that meant that all the painting had to continue indoors and by hand.
Nice
which
green.
I think painting by hand can sometimes work, especially when you're trying to do coat. You don't need to do as many coats, you can get it on there real
nice
thick.
and thick, yeah.
Yeah.
Builds up the texture as well.
Yeah, so you know, it was quite easy to actually cover all of that space and not have to do numerous amount of coats and wait for it to dry. The last little bit was actually electronics, which Michael helped us out with a lot with. He did all our soldering, electrics, and just all the little bits in that allowed the electronics to actually work, climbing in there with a little light.
Great use for chopping board right there in it, Kirby.
Yeah, so good chopping board. You know, screw all your components onto there and
Yep.
have some wiring, and it's a good way to get rid of it. This sucked.
Aw.
Cutting Lego.
Are you alright? Have you recovered?
I'm okay.
Did it hurt?
A little bit. So the final piece of the puzzle here was the wings.
Yep.
We needed to get a mechanism. So a lot of cosplay people use mechanisms to actually be able to do this. So it's quite easy to kind of find a mechanism and figure out a way to replicate that in SolidWorks and bring it up. But we'll let Fadi introduce himself.
Hi, my name is Fadi Atala. I'm a SolidWorks champion and I've worked on designing the wings for the wheelchair.
So these are the wings that Fadi then gave to us. This was a good start, good place to kind of visualize how we're going to build this.
How it was going to work and operate.
Yes. Michael helped us out to actually bring it to life using some PVC pipe. We then covered it in insulation foam.
Yep.
And then we
painted it up, attached it, covered it in cloth, and then we got a nice open close.
I think that's a lovely shot. That this was the moment where everything had come together. This was the final moment before we did the reveal.
Yeah. I love my little appreciative nod there. Yeah, boy.
There was also a couple of little final details that we had to complete last minute, as with every Magic Wheelchair build. And then George arrived in his little Team George shirt, ready for the reveal. That time has come. It's time for the reveal.
Yeah, I really do like it. It's so really like.
Oh my, look at the wings.
Wow.
Look at
It was actually split. Wow.
that. Oh my goodness, that is so cool.
Look how big that is.
They do sounds that you can.
Oh my goodness.
So no one will get in your way anymore, or just straight through the middle of everyone.
What's a better way of scaring you?
That is amazing.
Wow. Trees.
You see on here, these are all Lego studs.
Oh yeah.
So this is a section that George can make his own, Heart of the Dragon, and for that.
Whoa.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
So yeah, there's a section for you to build yourself.
That's fantastic.
So that was a great reveal. That was a great build. I'm very glad it's all done and we're ready for the next one. We'll have some time.
I just want an afternoon, and then I'll be happy to sign up for another one. No problemo.
We'll get on to the pub now.
Yeah.
So we just got some people to thank. Magic Wheelchair for helping us put this all together.
Yep.
There's SolidWorks for sponsoring it and that. You guys,
eBack my work. Thanks for the workshop.
Yeah, they let us use their workshop and that. SolidWorks champions that got involved. Some of them you can see their little video was featured as well, but there were a couple of others that helped out. Darren helped us out quite a lot with the electronics as well, so thank you very much for that.
Michael from eBack.
Yeah, Michael from eBack helped out as well.
Big help for us, otherwise we would have been
Who's the other
struggling. Daniel, the apprentice.
There's Daniel the apprentice. Yeah, thanks to George for being so awesome.
That was an awesome afternoon.
Yeah, ate pizza, chilled in the park, watched him razz around the cricket field and probably destroyed the pitch.
Yeah, well, there'll be some bouncing balls in weird directions tomorrow when we play cricket, but we had a good time, so we're happy.
Yeah, it was good. It's good fun, and thank you very much for coming on this journey with us.